So today's topic of discussion is human reproduction. So as you all know that the reproduction is a vital process for the continuity of the race. Even this reproduction is not defining property in case of the living organisms, but its importance is very okay. So all organisms depend upon this universal process for continuing the life and diversity presently that we observe. It is due to this reproduction. So in this topic we are going to learn about human reproduction, all types of the events in the reproduction, in male reproductive system, female reproductive system. We know that the humans are sexually reproducing and viviparous animal. That means they give birth to the young ones. Okay, and there is a maximum parental care taken by in this viviparous condition. So, what are the main reproductive events in case of human? As we see, you can see in this simple chart I have drawn here. So, there are basically 7 main events. All these events comprises total reproductive system. Okay, first important event is called as the gametogenesis. You can see this gametogenesis. So, gametogenesis is the process, you know, that by which male and female gametes are produced. Male produces, in case of human, man produces the sperms. In case of female, woman produces ovum. So, this is basically gametogenesis process is because of the meiotic cell division, where the cells of the reproductive organs undergoes the meiosis, okay, and haploid gametes are produced. So this is the first crucial step in any reproductive system, begins with the gametogenesis. Second reproductive main event is insemination. So insemination in case of the animals and human. So in this system we know that transfer of the sperms of a male and female gametes, okay, and the sperms are the transferred into the female genital tract. This is called as the insemination. So insemination method, why it requires, simply you know that in case of the males, male gametes, that are the sperms, are motile, but the female gamete ovum is stationary, it cannot move like so. It is a prerequisite that the sperm somehow should get into the genital tract, and from that it should go further and reach to the ovum at the destined location. So this is what we call as the insemination process. This is the second important. And third, which is the most vital process of all reproductive success is depend upon this third process, which is known as the fertilization. So fertilization is the third event. What happens, you know that generally when male gametes reaches to the ovum, and if the fusion of the male and female gamete, and which produces zygote. So this haploid male gamete unites with the haploid female gametes and the zygote is produced. This is called as, what we call this as the gamete. This is fertilization event which is take place. After fertilization, the zygote which is formed, it undergoes further mitotic divisions, 2 cells, 4 cells, 8 cell, 16 cell like stages, and it finally forms the mass of cells. This is called as the blastocyst. See, this blastocyst formation and development is the fourth major event of reproduction. Once this blastocyst is formed, next sixth important event is fifth important is the implantation. Implantation is the process by which this blastocyst enters in the uterus and get attached, implanted to the wall of the uterus. So this is the beginning of the next cycle or next stage of the what we call as the reproductive event. Next, once this get implanted, this blastocyst get implanted on the uterine wall. Next stage is the gestation. Gestation means this blastocyst will again further development will take place by the mitosis. Again there is the cell differentiation. Okay, different germ lines are initially produced. All these three germ lines in human: ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm, and embryo starts to develop in a protective environment in the placenta, and this is called as the gestation period. This gestation then continues till the complete development of embryo in the fetus, up into the fetus. So this is what about the gestation. And last, once this, for example, in case of human, 9 months of complete gestation period, so final fetus which is completely developed is expelled out to the uterus by the process called as the parturition is the last step, and in which this is we call as the actual birth of the baby, delivery of the baby. So these all these events, all these 7 important events totally comprises this reproductive process. In this chapter we have to study one by one all these important events in the detail. Okay, so we will begin with the male reproductive system. So you know that this male reproductive system is located in the pelvis region of the male, and it includes mainly pair of testes is the main organ, along with accessory ducts are there, glands, then external genitalia, genital organs, external that appears. So these are the main points of the male reproductive system. So you can understand I am writing what are the main male reproductive systems. So male reproductive systems, male reproductive system we are studying now, male reproductive system. So this is made up of, you know that it includes a pair of testes, then this is the main important testes are here, pair of testes. Again next important is the accessory ducts, glands, and external genitalia. These are the main components. External genitalia. These are the main components of the male reproductive system. So, so now we will study about the somewhat main aspects of the testes. So testes are situated along the abdominal cavity. So it is present within a pouch called as the scrotum. So testes are within a pouch. This pouch is called as the outside the abdominal cavity. This is called as the scrotum. Testes are the main sites for the sperm production. As you know that the scrotum helps. What is the use of this scrotum? You know that the testes are not present in the abdomen. They are lying outside the abdomen through this, inside this pouch called as the scrotum, and this scrotum helps the maintaining the low temperature of testes, that is 2 to 2 degree lower than the normal internal body temperature. So because here why the temperature of the testes is kept below 2 to 2.5 degree below the body temperature, because the spermatogenesis, the process of formation of sperms, is a heat sensitive. It is only possible at this lower temperature than body temperature. You know that the normal body temperature of the human is 37. So 35 degree, okay, then 34.5 degree is suitable for the sperm development or the process of spermatogenesis. And in case of the adults, if you see, each sperm, each testis, okay, is oval in shape, okay, and its length is about 4 to 5 centimeter and width about 2 to 3 centimeter. So this is some features. The testis is covered by dense covering. If you look the internal structure of the testis inside, so you will find that it is covered, it has about this testis 250 compartments. These compartments are called as the testicular lobules. So when we study the testis structure, internal structure, it is made up of around 215 compartments. So these are called as the testicular lobules. So these testicular lobules are seen internally in case of the testis. So each lobule contains, each testicular lobules from each testis, it contains 1 to 3 highly coiled tubes. These tubes are called as the seminiferous tubes. So in some, there may be number 1 to 3 seminiferous tubules in which sperms are produced. So okay, if you study these seminiferous tubules, which is lined on its inside by the two types of cells. These are called as the male germ cells. Male germ cells are also known as spermatogonia, and second type of cell which is known as Sertoli cells. So these two important cells internally present line in case of the testis. Male germ cells, that is the spermatogonia present in the seminiferous tubules, this undergoes meiotic division, okay, and finally leading to the sperm formation. This is main important function, main important point of the spermatogonia is the male germ cells inside the seminiferous tube. And second, you know that seconds are the Sertoli cells, okay, and these Sertoli cells which provide nutrition to the germ cells. Growing germ cells get the nutrition from this Sertoli cell. This is the main function of the Sertoli cells. Now the regions which is outside these seminiferous tubules called interstitial spaces, that is the space present outside seminiferous tubes. So it is made up of small blood vessels, and there are the other special types of cells called as the interstitial cells or Leydig cells, second name to these cells present outside the seminiferous tubule. So these Leydig cells, the main function is to synthesize and secrete testicular hormone which is called as androgens. Okay, this is very important, and in this region, these androgens are very important for development of the sperm as well as secondary sexual characteristics in the male, and other immunological cells are also present in this region. Okay, now this is what about the structure of testis. This testis is connected with the accessory ducts for carrying all the sperms and important from the testis onwards. So these accessory ducts are in rete testis, second vas efferentia, epididymis, and vas deferens. So this is what about the structural importance of the testis.